it's me, Mrs. Kilgus, and I'm back to read you another story for our Storytime videos. Today, I have a fiction story to read to you, and this is a book we've read before, earlier this year, and it's such a great story, I thought you'd enjoy hearing it again. The title is Not Norman, a Goldfish Story. It was written by Kelly Bennett, and the illustrations, which are really cute in this book, I really like the pictures, are by Noah Jones. Well, I don't know if you know this story or remember it, but Norman is a goldfish, and you know what? The little boy in the story isn't really happy about getting his goldfish Norman as a pet. He had other ideas of pets that he was hoping for instead. I'd like you to take special notice as to how this boy's feelings change. He changes throughout the story, so I think you'll notice that while we're reading today. All right, let's get into the book now. Not Norman. Not Norman, a Goldfish Story. When I got Norman, I didn't want to keep him. I wanted a different kind of pet. Not Norman. I wanted a pet who could run and catch, or one who could climb trees and chase strings, a soft furry pet to sleep on my bed at night. Not Norman. All Norman does is swim around and 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 around. This is it, Norman, I decide. I'm trading you for a good pet. Norman doesn't move. Not even a fin twitches. How can I trade him like this? No one will want a sorry-looking fish in a gunky bowl. When I drop Norman into his nice, clean bowl, he starts dipping and flipping, flapping his fins around. He looks so goofy, I have to laugh. Don't think that just because you made me laugh, I'm going to keep you, I tell him. Tomorrow, you're out of here. Norman blows a stream of bubbles. The next day, I take Norman to school with me. If I talk him up real good during show and tell, maybe someone will want him. On the way there, we see my friend Austin. Austin has a real cool dog and 7 puppies. Want to swap one of your pups for Norman? I ask. Who's Norman? Asks Austin. My goldfish, I say. By the time I rescue Norman, half his water is gone. You'll notice that Austin's dogs are drinking all the water in Norman's bowl. I'm sorry, I tell Norman when we get to school. I'm really sorry. He just stares at me all googly-eyed. Finally, it's my turn to show and tell. Just as I start to talk about goldfish, Emily shouts, Jenny's gone! Who let my snake loose? So here's a little boy sharing about his pet, Norman, and here is his friend Jenny. She's looking in the tank and her snake is gone. Uh-oh. Does anyone hear the story of how I got Norman? Does anyone even ask to hold his bowl? No. They're all jumping and screaming and chasing the snake. Not Norman. He's looking right at me. Thanks for listening, I tell him. Oh, when I look carefully, I think I see where the snake is. There's part right here. That afternoon, we go to my music lesson. As soon as it's over, I'm taking Norman back to the pet store. I take out my tuba and begin to play. Boom, 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 ba, 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 bo, 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 bee. I glance over at Norman. He's swaying back and forth. Glue, 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 glug, he mouths. Look, Norman's singing, I say. Pay attention, snaps Maestro, and try to play the proper notes. Maestro makes me stay for extra practice. By the time my lesson is over, It's too late to go to the pet store. Don't think that just because you like my music, I'm going to keep you, I tell Norman. He glugs, glug. That night, I'm sound asleep when screech, screech. What's that noise? Scratch, scritch, screech. Yikes, there's something at the window. Then, out of the corner of my eye, I spot. Wonder what it could be. Norman! He isn't scared. He isn't swimming around in circles either. He glugs and gives me a little wave. I'm not alone. Together, Norman and I slide open the curtains. It was just a broken tree branch. Thanks for watching out for me, Norman. On Saturday, I take Norman to the pet store just like I said I would. I look at the cats and dogs and snakes and birds. I look at the hamsters and mice and lizards too. They all look like good pets, but they are not Norman. When I got Norman, I wasn't sure I wanted to keep him. But now, even if I could pick any pet in the whole world, I wouldn't trade him. Not Norman. Friends, I'm going to hold the last page up, and I want you to notice his tank, and I want you to notice the sign. It says, Norman, one amazing fish. I hope you enjoyed hearing the story, Not Norman, again. And wow, his feelings, the little boy's feelings sure did change about Norman in this story. I bet you noticed that too. Well, I hope to see you next time at my next Storytime Read Aloud. Bye for now. Have a great day.